It is quite remarkable that the state of Israel and the Jewish people are called upon, indeed forced to deal with issues that every other country in the world somehow gets a pass on. There are major issues, divisive issues in Israel regarding the Amona settlement and trying the attempt to legalize the 4,000 homes that have been built in Judea and Samaria. Of the 10,000s of homes, but only 4,000, as much as 4,000, built on territory which was thought to be owned by the state, but has turned out to be owned by individual Palestinians. Very complicated sugyot issues. Do you remove people, men, women and children have been living for tens of years, for decades from their land? On the other hand, which is of course it comes with a massive thing to evacuate people. We know what it means. On the other hand, this is land which doesn't belong to the people, the state and the individuals. True compensation has been offered, alternative land, and therefore it's a very difficult sugya and no easy way to solve it. However, it just boggles the mind. In Northern Cyprus, the Turks invaded in 1974, illegal occupied territory. Nobody in the international community other than Turkey recognizes not the military occupation and the civilian settlements in northern Turkey. Not one word. Tibet, 1 million monks have been killed, occupied since 1951 by China. Not a word about civilian settlements or trying to legalize anything. It's not even an international issue, despite the fact that nobody accepts it. Western Sahara, illegally occupied by Morocco, not a word. Why is it that we are called to deal with issues that somehow all others are not? Perhaps part of that answer is in this week's Parashat, linked to the name of the Jewish people, Yisrael. After all, Jacob's name is not just changed, it is transformed to something different. Yisrael. Why is he called Yisrael? Says the angel that he wrestles with, Ki sarita im Elohim va'anashim, because you have struggled and contended with Elohim, with spiritual and moral forces in the world, and with anashim, people like Esav and Lavan, who have tried to kill you and cause grievous bodily harm. The Jewish people somehow are here to grapple, struggle and contend with conflicting moral and spiritual issues in the world, and somehow that is their role, perhaps to be a leader, a thought and action leader, to deal with such complexities that other nations are not called upon to deal with. It is a struggle for the sake of heaven, and a struggle to blaze trails in complex situations. The good news, though, is the final word of this pasuk. Yes, you will struggle, im Elohim ve'adam vatuchal. You will overcome. You might be limping. There might be divisiveness. There might be international condemnation. There may be hypocrisy, and you may even be harmed. But vatuchal, out of these struggles and contentions, which are for the sake of heaven, to blaze new moral and spiritual trails, you will overcome. And we hope and pray that through this difficult time, that there will be a trail blazed that a vast majority of the Jewish people can agree on, stand up to international pressure, and it should be one, Bezrat Hashem, that out of the struggles and contentions of Yisrael comes Vatuchal, a way to move forward together, overcoming the challenges and being the light unto the nations that we are called upon to be. Shabbat Shalom.